I'm Ron Brown. This is Tech for Senior. It is January the 9th, 2023. I'll be your host today. We're going to be with you for about an hour. And today we have a great action-packed show for you. We're going to start out. Oh, by the way, if you are listening, thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate your enthusiasm. If you're listening to this on a YouTube short, just click the link and it'll take you right to the show. The meeting today in the meeting, we're going to talk about certainly where Bob is going to do a security news update. Now, Bob, of course, is got his aloha flowers on, and Bob is in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So through the magic of video, we're going to have him present his security news update. I will, Ray's going to talk on power banks, and Bill James is going to do home automation. I'm going to talk about AI and is there humor in AI, and Bob is also going to talk, I'm going to show Bob's travel blog that he created with AI before he left on his cruise. So he gave us the analysis of his cruise before he even left, and he did it all with AI. Ray's, of course, got his music outro, and we're going to have a great time, and the meeting will go for about an hour, followed by our premiere service, premiere video. And today we have a special event for you. This is, of course, going to be, this time last year, Huey and I had the big duke out with backup, and is should you back up your hard drive? And Bob was the adjudicator. We bloodied each other's noses. We had the great debate, and we did it, of course, to have a lot of fun, but also as an educational feature so that you can could learn something. And so we'll be playing that as part of our premiere event. For those of you, of course, who had our newsletter, you will have known that because in our Saturday newsletter, we have we put the agenda for today's meeting in there. Now, also, in the Saturday newsletter, we have I put one of my favorite channels of the week, YouTube channels, and this week it was brought to my attention by Bob, and he gave us this good lead. And this is SELE Training. And I think if I put my head down here, SELE Training, I've put the link in the Saturday newsletter to this. This is a YouTube channel, and this is an IT professional who makes excellent videos. It was a good find by Bob. He made excellent videos on software, training software, mostly Microsoft products. These are really very good. He has about 300,000 followers, so he's got a big group of people that follow him and does a good job with it. These would be absolutely great for your computer club, or if you want to do any presentations. These are all royalty-free, and you can use them. He's a great guy, and these are really good videos. So, like Kevin Stravert, we talked about the week before, this would be a good one if you're looking for something. This is a great option for you. As we move ahead, we're going to be, of course, this Thursday, we're going to be talking we have our Tech for Senior Live. This is our Tech for Senior Live, of course, is our show we do about the news of the week. And we're going to, Mike and Huey are going to talk about CES, but my feeling is CES has gone to the toilet, and I'm going to talk all about that on Thursday. So if you're interested in seeing the toilet, well, there you go. We'll talk about that on Thursday. Now, I'm going to skip the intro to each individual person because, of course, we're running out a little bit of time. But I do have a video I want to play for you, and I'm just going to play that now. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. You know, we're starting our 4th year. Wow. It seems like just yesterday, Huey and I decided to start Tech for Senior for 3 or 4 months. Where have the 4 years gone? With many of the hardworking people that work at Tech for Senior, all on a voluntary basis, we have produced over the past few years 800 videos on our YouTube channel. We also produce 104 live shows a year with a twice weekly newsletter. All this is free without advertising or any sort of charges. We have 16 to 22,000 people a month view our online data, which includes our website and YouTube channel. All this for a budget of only $1,500 a year. These are all just licensing fees because no one gets paid for this. It's all volunteer work. So how do we pay the bills? Well, we have a very generous group of people who have contributed the past 3 years in our coffee fund. This is probably the easiest way for us to raise the $1,500. And with your generosity, it happens usually within 3 weeks. Then we don't have to talk about this anymore. Appreciate this year that if everyone can just and make a donation, then we don't have to discuss for about 3 weeks. You can make the payment using our coffee website. This is a secure transaction that occurs through PayPal. You can do this as a bank transfer or a credit card payment. You'll find the link to this in all our videos, website, and newsletter. So it's well advertised and you won't have trouble finding the link, and it's very easy to make a payment. Thank you again for your donation, and we will work hard this year providing you with great content and excellent videos. We look forward for a great 4th season at Tech for Senior. So so if we can get that organized, and hopefully within 3 weeks we can get this our fundraising finished, and then we don't have to worry about it for another year. I'm going to move ahead. Bob, I'm going to play yours for you. Is that okay?
Here is the Avast Security News Roundup for the week ending January 6th, 2023. Lockbit ransomware gang apologizes for sick kids hospital attack and offers free decryptor. Lockbit, one of the world's most notorious ransomware gangs, has issued a rare apology after claiming that one of its partners was responsible for a cyber attack on Canada's largest pediatric hospital. On December 18th, the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto fell victim to a ransomware attack that left the institution unable to access many of its critical systems. The incident led to an increase in patient wait times as the December 29th Sick Kids said it had regained access to almost 50% of its priority systems, including those that had caused diagnostic and treatment delays. Read more at Engadget. WordPress security alert. New Linux malware exploiting over 24 CMS flaws. WordPress sites are being targeted by a previously unknown strain of Linux malware that exploits flaws in over 24 plugins and themes to compromise vulnerable systems. If sites use outdated versions of such add-ons lacking crucial fixes, the targeted web pages are injected with malicious JavaScripts. Russian security vendor Dr. Web said in a report published last week. As a result, when users click on an area of an attacked page, they are redirected to another site. Read more at the Hacker News. Google to pay $29.5 million to settle lawsuits over user location tracking. Google has agreed to pay a total of $29.5 million to settle 2 different lawsuits brought by Indiana and Washington, D.C. over its deceptive location tracking practices. The search and advertising giant is required to pay $9.5 million to D.C. and $20 million to Indiana after the states sued the company for charges that the company tracked users' locations without their express consent. The settlement adds to the $391.5 million Google agreed to pay to 40 states over similar allegations last month. The company is still facing 2 more location tracking lawsuits in Texas and Washington. My question is, when will those of us actually affected see any of this money? Read more at the Hacker News. Qualcomm chipsets and Lenovo BIOS get security updates to fix multiple flaws. Qualcomm on Tuesday released patches to address multiple security flaws in its chipsets, some of which could be exploited to cause information disclosure and memory corruption. The 5 vulnerabilities, tracked as CVE 2022-40516 through CVE 2022-40520, also impact Lenovo ThinkPad X13s laptops, prompting the Chinese PC maker to issue BIOS updates to plug the security holes. Successful exploitation of the flaw could allow a local adversary with elevated privileges to cause memory corruption or leak sensitive information. Lenovo noted in an alert published Tuesday. Read more at the Hacker News, and if you haven't yet updated, do so ASAP. Hackers using stolen bank information to trick victims into downloading BitRat malware. A new malware campaign has been observed using sensitive information stolen from a bank as a lure in phishing emails to drop a remote access Trojan called BitRat. The unknown adversary is believed to have hijacked the IT infrastructure of a Colombian cooperative bank, using the information to craft convincing decoy messages to lure victims into opening suspicious Excel attachments. The discovery comes from cybersecurity firm ℎ𝕠𝕟, which found evidence of a data dump compromising 418,777 records that's said to have been obtained by exploiting SQL injection faults. Read the whole story at the Hacker News. CircleCI warns customers to rotate any and all secrets after hack. CircleCI, a company whose development products are popular with software engineers, has urged users to rotate their secrets following a breach of a company's systems. The San Francisco headquartered DevOps company said in an advisory published late Wednesday it is currently investigating the security incident. CircleCI, which claims its technology is used by more than 1 million software engineers, is advising users to rotate any and all secrets stored in CircleCI, including those stored in project environment variables or in contexts. Secrets are passwords or private keys that are used to connect and authenticate servers together. Read more at TechCrunch+. How hackers might be exploiting ChatGPT. The viral AI chatbot, ChatGPT, might advise threat actors how to hack into networks with ease. Cyber News research team discovered that the AI-based chatbot, ChatGPT, a recently launched platform that caught the online community's attention, could provide hackers with step-by-step instructions on how to hack websites. Cyber News researchers warn that AI chatbot, while fun to experiment with, might also be dangerous since it's able to give detailed advice on exploiting any vulnerability. Read the full story at Cyber News or watch their video at the link listed. This week's must-read on the Avast blog. The Oura Ring is the privacy-protecting fitness tracker you need this year. Read the article at the link listed. Did you know Dr. Pepper? The naming story is a bit mysterious, but according to the corporate's website, the soda was named by Morrison's Old Corner drugstore owner, Wade Morrison. He decided to call the drink Dr. Pepper after Dr. Charles Pepper, a Virginia doctor who was the father of a girl Morrison loved, and that story may actually just be speculation on the corporation's part. Just thought you might want to know. And that wraps up this week's Avast Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Bob. Thank you, Bob. That's great. If you've just joined and you haven't sort of looked at Bob. Bob, of course, is wearing a Hawaiian lei, and he's on a cruise ship. And through the miracles of technology, where he's able to be with us today. Wave, Bob. Can you wave for us? Bob actually has really good
location. I've had to move my location. The battery was running out, so I'm back further in the room and can't show you the ocean anymore. But at least I'm plugged back in.
Speaking of batteries, we've got, I guess Ray's going to talk on power banks. So it's a good topic. We'll just move into Ray now. Ray, are you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Take it away. Bob needs some help with his laptop in power.
Okay, what do you need to know about power banks? This is power for your devices without having to plug into an electrical outlet. Hey, remember the good old days? Wasn't that long ago when the battery in your laptop started losing the capacity to hold a charge. We could just pop open the back cover and replace that battery with a brand new one. But as laptops became thinner, the ability for the owner to replace the battery started to disappear. Now, you can always charge your laptop with the charger that came with your device, but they are typically heavy to carry around, and you need to be within a few feet of a wall receptacle. So what is a power bank? It's a portable battery that you charge as you would your cell phone or laptop, typically by plugging it into an electrical source, such as a wall outlet. Now, power banks come in a variety of physical sizes, as well as features and capacities, depending on what you intend to use it for. A smaller powered bank may adequately charge a cell phone, but would not have enough capacity to charge a laptop or even a tablet. So let's look at the different sizes that power banks come in, and this all depends on your needs. Here's one I used actually last Monday when I had a power failure in the house during Tech for Seniors. I wasn't able to sign on, but we were able to plug into this some electrical things that we needed to use. Power banks like this can be heavy, but they come with connections for an AC converter, for USB to charge devices. This one has jumper cables to start a car, and even an air compressor for inflation purposes. But here's the power banks that are becoming much more available. This is the one that is slightly larger and heavier than a cell phone, but it has the latest USB-C connectivity, allowing you to charge your laptop without the need to carry around the charger and be close to an electric outlet. So in a case like this, the power bank needs to have a USB-C connector, and the laptop needs to have a USB-C connector. And then you have power banks that are even smaller. They can be relatively small and light. You can easily carry these around in your pocket or purse, but they have enough stored power to charge your cell phone multiple times. Now, here's a term you're going to hear. It's called milliamp hours. The term small m, capital A, small h stands for milliamps per hour and is a unit that indicates the amount of energy the power bank can hold. They can range from only 3,000 to well over 20,000 milliamp hours. So if your cell phone has a battery that has a capacity of, say, 5,000 milliamp hours, then theoretically a 20,000 milliamp hour fully charged power bank can recharge the phone up to 4 times. Although in practice, the number of times will be slightly less. So a good rule to follow, good rule of thumb, is to get a power bank with a minimum of at least 25% more capacity than the device you intend to charge. All right, now we're going to choose the best power bank. That really depends on your needs. So power banks with 10,000 milliamp hours can typically charge a smartphone about 2 times. The higher the milliamp, the more times the phone can be charged. So you want to look for a power bank that supports fast charge as well. Now, power banks for laptops require, as I said before, the USB-C connection, a capacity of at least 20,000 milliamp hours, and a high power delivery ability measured in wattage. Typically, smaller laptops require 45 watts of power, average size laptops 60 watts, and large laptops may need as much as 100 watts of power. Power banks can also charge small devices such as earbuds, e-readers, and even smartwatches. Now you're going to see the term USB-C PD, and the PD, it's not police department, stands for power delivery. So USB-C PD is a feature that allows devices with larger batteries, like laptops, to charge while at the same time prevents smaller devices like cell phones from overcharging by determining how much power the device needs, and then it regulates that amount. PD allows for two-way charging for the power bank to either receive power or give out power. And PD allows fast charging, so a device can be fully charged in about a third of the time it would normally take with the plug-in that came with the device. So I was in the market to buy a new power bank, and here's the considerations. I wanted one that had at least 60 watts of power, because that would be more than enough to charge my Surface laptop. I wanted one with at least 20,000 milliamp hours. That's more than 3 times the size of the Surface laptop battery. It had to have fast charging, USB-C PD, and we're already up to version 3.0. And this will include the built-in smart identifying chip system to ensure charging safely for all my devices. I did not want to pay more than $50. These things, these devices can be kind of expensive. So I purchased on Amazon the ℏ power bank. It's 65 watts, 20,000 milliamp hours. It has the fast charging USB-C PD, and I got it for $46.99. Now, this will primarily be used to power my laptop on away from home at locations where electric wall outlets are not readily available. Now, power banks made to power cell phones and other smaller devices, they're readily available to purchase with prices starting under $25. Yes, purchasing a power bank, I think, is a very good investment. Okay, I'm going to end it here and stop sharing.
Thanks so much, Ray. Well, that's good news. And hopefully, yes, extra power banks are really helpful. I see they're always on sale on Amazon, so there's often good deals. Did you purchase yours on Amazon?
Yes.
Yeah.
I put almost everything I get on Amazon, because where I live, I'll get it in a couple of days. Otherwise, it's a long drive.
Exactly. All right. Let's move on to, of course, Bill James and home automation. We're going to, this is really important for seniors, I think. This is, where's Bill? Bill, are you there?
I'm here.
There you go. Take it away. You got the helm.
Good morning, everyone. What I'm going to talk about on the next 3 weeks is home automation for seniors aging in place. And the first part of this is what I found is 5 benefits of aging in place. And we're going to talk about that. And the next week, we're going to talk about choosing and setting up various devices that you can use to help you. And then later, the third and final one will be on some construction things that you might need to do to your home. But what actually prompts me about this is if you've taken the time to consider where you live as you get older and you decide to stay at home, you're not alone. According to one study, almost 90% of seniors over age 65 want to live at home rather than moving to a nursing home or assisted living facility. Aging at home is always the preferable option, but in some instances, it's just not possible for medical or safety reasons. Today, aging in place is more doable than it has been, and more adults are considering its real possibility. But what if you are not sure if you want to stay at home, this list of 5 benefits of aging in place will give you not only reasons to age in place, but detailed information on what these reasons mean and how they affect you in the real world. I won't mention a name, but there's a member in our club that is 103 years old. She lives alone, and up till probably about 3 months ago, she was still driving. And she is absolutely an inspiration in the fact that when I would get on the elevator sometime with her, she would always tell me, she says, I'm really blessed. I live within 3 miles of everything I need to go to. And this is when she was still driving. And I think about that a lot because the things I talk about here, I think really epitomize of how she lives. So first of all, aging in place costs less. Nursing homes and assisted living facilities are expensive. Add in that many seniors have almost paid off their home mortgages, with over 20% between ages 65 and 74 have paid them off completely, makes aging in place even more attractive. Medicare doesn't cover long-term placement in facilities like this, although Medicare PACE program in some areas can help cover some in-home alternatives. Medicaid only picks up costs after almost everything an individual owns is sold to cover costs. In 2021, the cost of care survey by Genworth, a private room in a nursing home, costs approximately $297 per day, or $9,034 per month. And it depends on where you're located and what markets you're in. Semi-private rooms are more affordable, with a median cost of $260 per day, or $7,908 per month. And these are averages that I just found, and I mean it could vary in other markets. In 2022, the average national cost of assisted living rose to over $4,500 per month. And that's due to a growing shortage of qualified caretakers, hikes in minimum wage requirements, and changes in overtime payments legislation are also increasing assisted living costs. So comparatively, by staying at home, we seniors can take advantage of the Medicare coverage to help pay for in-home help on a part-time basis. Medicare covers part-time in-home skilled nursing care and home health aid care, provided it is ordered by a doctor. And you are homebound according to the Medicare definition. Even without Medicare help, in-home care is usually cheaper than assisted living or nursing home with health aid services. Medicare does not pay for homemaker services. 4 hours a day of service, which could include things like cleaning, meal prep, transportation, or errands or activities and other general help, would be only $165 a day, or around $5,150 a month. Many seniors need far less than 4 hours a day. However, so the cost could be significantly lower. In addition, many seniors have friends or family nearby that can assist when needs, and communities have supported services for seniors that make staying at home possible without paying for extra care. There's Meal on Wheels, either the official organization or local similar organizations that provide meals for seniors in their homes. Many areas have senior transport available for no cost or very low cost, stopping a doctor's visit. Your local agency on aging is also a valuable resource. But now we also have Uber and a lot of the other things that you can just call up using your smartphone. The number two reason is aging in place is more comfortable. And of course, there's no place like home. You have your favorite chair, your mattress instead of a hospital bed, space the space that you're accustomed to, the temperature, the smells, just the familiarity of the space, all goes towards the comfort of staying in your own home. Also, in a nursing home, there is a real chance seniors will have to deal with a roommate out of their choosing in a private or in a semi-private room situation. Aging in place offers the comfort and privacy that just isn't available in many live-in facilities. Necessity, and in many cases, state and federal laws require certain things to be done in group living facilities that don't have to be done at home. The way things are cleaned may require industrial cleaners with strong smells. There may be no carpet in many areas for ease of cleaning, and doors may not be locked in some cases. The Nursing Home Reform Act in 1987 dealt with reducing negligence in nursing homes, but that legislation only afforded basic rights such as the right to nutrition. The regulations surrounding Medicare and Medicaid apply many other standards, still offer no huge loopholes to older facilities that would directly damage someone's comfort. For example, under the latest long-term care facility rules, only new facilities or newly certified facilities have to provide a bathroom with a sink and commode in all residential rooms. A third reason is aging in place helps slows the advancement of memory loss. Loss of memory can really be a scary prospect for many as they age and being moved into a new environment, particularly an institutional environment, worsen the progression of memory loss. Because of the increased social network connections and being able to keep your current social network that comes with staying in your community, the decrease of cognitive function can be slowed. One study found that seniors with frequent social activity contact saw a 70% reduction in cognitive decline compared with more isolated individuals. There is also benefits to the familiarity of your surroundings, helping to trigger memory. Smell is one of those most powerful memory facilitators, for example, and studies have shown that in the early stages of Alzheimer's, smells increase memory recall. Staying in your own home helps ensure familiar sights, sounds, and smells to help keep you connected. The fourth reason, aging in place strengthens your social network. Aging in place allows seniors to keep their current social network and expand upon it. Not only allows seniors to stay near current friends, but gives them the freedom to host social events if they prefer eating out. Because many communities have vibrant and active senior centers, volunteer opportunities, and other senior groups, seniors often find that their social circles expand dramatically with older active adults as they reach the age to join the senior centers or group and activities. Here in Oklahoma City, we've got about 4 of these senior facilities located in the 4 areas of the town, and they're open 7 days a week, and people go there and do all kinds of things to sport. They have a swimming pool. They have other groups that are engaged in playing games and so forth, exercising, all kinds of activities that really can enhance your living. The other thing is that many seniors find that it's simpler to eat out rather than cook at home, and that's give another avenue of social connection. Most communities have local restaurants that offer senior discounts, making eating out more affordable. Also, with the obesity rate for seniors aged 65 to 74 being 40%, social activities can help you stay active to benefit your health and your weight. And the fifth reason, aging in place and self-determination. And this is the thing I think that is that I think about this lady in my computer club. She has such determination to be able to live on her own and be independent. It's something that's really inspiring to me and to others in our computer club. So the thing about it that we have spent the majority of our working life, of our life working, and so retirement should be about doing what you want. Staying at home allows you to be more independent and make your own decisions on a variety of topics. Even with live-in or occasional in-home help, you're in charge of the scheduling activities instead of a nursing home or assisted living situation. You must comply with the group schedule. In some group living situations, there are restrictions on visitors and meal times. Aging in place allows you to maintain control over your environment as well. Remodeling, repainting, rearranging furniture, redecorating, or even controlling the thermostat are things that might not be possible in other living situations. Especially for seniors who only need occasional help, aging in place is the best way to maintain independence and freedom. Even when some help is needed, aging in place lets you choose who will help and how they will help. This can be especially important when getting help with things like finances, where it's vital to make sure that the person helping has your best interest in mind. In addition to the services that I have identified here, home automation devices can augment your aging in place experience. Home automation has also been proven to be a tremendous benefit for the elderly and disabled. A form of home automation systems called assisted domotics provide a wide range of features that can aid in those with accessibility concerns in their homes. Home automation technologies is increasing in the number of households. It is because all the benefits it presents. These technologies, systems, and assistant equipment have become a viable option for those who would rather stay in their homes than move to assisted living facilities. Sum it up, home automation for elderly and disabled is changing lives every day. In our next installment, we will discuss some of the ways that home automation technology can be used effectively to help keep people with disabilities and elderly safe and help make their lives a little easier as they age in place. And here's some of the resources that I use for this presentation: retirement living, smart homes, research features, and the National Institute on Aging. Ron?
Okay, thanks a lot. Just unshare your screen. Thanks, Bill. That that really stuck home with me and a lot of thought of presentation. Thanks so much for doing that. Let's move on. I'm sure Bill.
I said next week we'll talk more about the some of the tools you can use.
Right. Right. All right, let's move on. We're going to, Bill, will you be with us in the Q&A?
Yes.
Okay, so if you have any more questions, we can talk about that. Lots of good topics there. Let's move on now, and I want to talk a little about artificial intelligence. So let's see what we have here. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. You know, in 2022, artificial intelligence software has come such a long way. I used 3 programs last year. The first one is Writer, R-Y-T-E-R. I actually paid for a subscription for that. I used it for 2 or 3 months, but it wasn't just quite as good as I needed. So I still use it, but I don't have a paid subscription. The second one I use all the time is called Quillbot. I use that and bought a paid subscription to that and use that on a weekly basis. Of course, recently, the new kid on the block is ChatGPT. This is an amazing piece of software, and I've used this for the past 2 months. It is incredible. It's free. It's, of course, founded by Microsoft. I am so excited because if it's that good now, what's it going to be like in a year's time? You should maybe give it a try. Today's title of the topic is going to be, is there humor in artificial intelligence? And I'm going to tell you a cute story that happened to me last week. If you're expecting this to be a technical review on AI software, well, you better move on because this is just a cute story that happened to me last week. So last Thursday had been a rather stressful day, and I said to my wife, let's watch a funny movie tonight. She said, that's great. So we had dinner, and we were going to watch something that would make us laugh and be uplifting. So I wanted something that was funny, and I couldn't believe my stroke of luck. I get a free newsletter from a company called How to Geek. I'm sure you all get that. And they have excellent articles on technology, particularly how to. And I couldn't believe it, but there was an email I got from them earlier that day on the best comedy movies on Amazon Prime in 2022. Yay! This is exactly what I've been looking for. It came in just now on my email, so I thought, let's choose a movie from that list. It was written by a fella by the name of Josh Bell, and it was reviewed by Jordan Glore. I'm not sure who these people are or how the article got on this service and out to How to Geek, but anyway, it's there. The best comedy movies on Amazon Prime Video in 2022. Well, I have Amazon Prime. It's going to be a funny movie. I've got a list now, and I'm going to choose the number 1 show. So the number 1 show was called The Big Sick, S-I-C-K. And it has Kumail Nanjiani and Emily Gordon in it. Should be funny. So with my popcorn in hand, we snuggled in to watch a funny movie that was going to make us laugh and be really uplifting. Well, the first thing that happened is I had to pay $4.95 for the movie, even though I have Amazon Prime. Oh, well, it's going to be a funny movie, so we'll pay the money and let's watch it. So all settled in, we started to watch the movie. So the movie starts out with the following scenario. Kumail is a son of an immigrant family who came from Pakistan. They desperately want their son to marry a Pakistani girl who will follow the same culture and morals that they have. So Kumail is, of course, doesn't want any part of this. He's an educated American now and wants to have his own life and his own friendship and wants to leave the past alone. So his mother, of course, is always constantly trying to hook him up with a Pakistani girl who's immigrated to the United States, and he wants nothing of this. This leads a little bit of comedy there and a few interesting lines, but not much, and you can see this isn't that funny. About a third of the way through, Gail, of course, is starting to zizz and go to sleep, but I'm going to soldier through this movie until the end. Well, just about when things are getting interesting, of course, Emily Gordon comes down with a mysterious illness and ends up in the intensive care unit in a medically induced coma. Well, this is rather tragic. And of course, it looks as though over the week that this happens, that she's actually going to die. They can't figure out what's going on. Meanwhile, Nanjiani, of course, comes up and sees her every day. He meets her parents. Of course, there's a relationship that develops, but it's tragic. I mean, she's going to die. No matter what they can do, they can't figure this out, and you can see the end coming. I'm crying, I'm tearful. This is not funny at all. And in fact, Gail has long since gone to sleep, right? So this is really not very funny. In fact, nothing in this movie, which is over half now, is at least given me any sort of a laugh. So long and the short of it is, at the end of the week, she finally miraculously gets better. The next scene is where he's coming up to see her, and she's like she was never sick in a day in her life, but she's still in the intensive care unit. She says to ℍ𝕠𝕟 is that when he comes into the room, her mother says, oh, he was here every day and supported you. He's madly in love with you. She says, of course, I never want to see you again. It's all your fault, as if he had anything to do with it. But anyway, she kicks him out. Again, tears coming out of my eyes. This is so depressing. Why would she do that? And it's really an emotional roller coaster for me. Meanwhile, Gail's still sleeping. So as the movie goes on, the next thing is he decides to leave to go to New York with a group of his comedians, because he is a comedian, but nothing in this movie is funny, right? And so the next scene is where he's with a bunch of friends getting into a car, and Emily comes up to see him before he leaves, and you can see that she's sort of sad that he's going. Another tear-jerking part as he leaves and heads north to New York and leaves her behind. So nothing in this movie is funny. In fact, a box of handkerchiefs later and a bowl of popcorn and $4.95, I'm feeling really distraught and upset the fact that this was a #1 comedy movie in 2022. So ℏ𝕠𝕟 ℍ𝕠𝕟's character in this movie was that of a comedian. Now, the whole movie wasn't about him as a comedian. It had nothing to do with it, but that was his job. So I guess my question really is how did this list of movies get made up? And I just wonder if the author didn't use AI to evolve the list of comedy movies in 2022. And the reason that it got selected was because in the description, it mentions comedian and comedy. But there is clearly nothing about a comedy here. And I wonder if anybody actually watched the movie. I have found this in using artificial intelligence this past year, where a lot of the information that is put in, you have to check and make sure is actually accurate. Anyway, just a thought. I have no idea who wrote this article or how they got this list, but clearly it was just a thought I had, and I wonder if AI has any humor. Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Have a great day until we see you again. All right. The last one, just before we get into race, I'll just give me just a sec. I just wanted to share my screen here. I just want to here. I just wanted to show you Bob's video artificial intelligence. Bob sent me this. I'm of course linked this up before he left. And it's all over Hawaii, Alice and Bob's adventure. Setting sail, exploring.
You're breaking up again, Ron.
Okay.
That's
Packing for the trip. Again, done by artificial intelligence, including
Very bad, Ron.
it. All done through AI.
All right, Charlie Gracie. Hey, some of you may not recognize that name. I think Charlie Gracie is also one of the pioneers who played an important role in the early days of rock and roll, as well as his later influence in bringing together country and rock and roll to form the rockabilly genre. Now, known as Philadelphia's first rock and roll star, he was born and raised in the city of brotherly love. He attended and graduated from South Philadelphia High School. Now, this is a high school. So other notable alumni from this one high school include Frankie Avalon, Joey Bishop, comedian, Chubby Checker, James Darren, the actor and singer, Fabian, Eddie Fisher, Mario Lanza, Al Martino, Gloria Mann, and Dee Dee Sharp, just to name some from an extensive list of this one high school. With a cast like this, it's not surprising that there is a South Philadelphia High School Alumni Cultural Hall of Fame, into which Gracie was inducted. Now, Charlie's big break came in 1956 when the brand new Philadelphia record label Cameo Records signed him to a recording contract. His very first release in 1957 was his very biggest seller, titled Butterfly. That reached #1 on the US Billboard charts and #20 in Canada. His follow-up recordings also sold well and gave Cameo Records the financial backing they needed to become a dominant force in the music industry for the next several years. Now, starting in the 1960s, Charlie Grace focused on live performances in the USA and Europe. In fact, he was one of the earliest American rock stars to bring this new music to the United Kingdom. He was only preceded by Bill Haley and his Comets. And here in England, he enjoyed a loyal following. Personal appearances continued into the 21st century when Van Morrison commissioned Gracie to open his 2000 West Coast tour. Sadly, Charlie Gracie died last month, that's December of 2022, at the age of 86 from complications related to COVID. Now, with a bit of video editing on my part, we're going to have Paul McCartney extending 80th birthday wishes to Charlie. Charlie, as he appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1957, and then a more recent performance of the song Butterfly.
Right. Good one. Yes, indeed. Well done by stitching them together as well. That worked really well.
I'm learning from you.
Well, you did take that course on video editing, right? You're putting it to use.
Hey, Ron, you're still breaking up really bad.
I'm still doing it, am I?
Yeah, it sounds like you're on the wrong mic again.
I don't think so.
He sounds hoarse to me.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
still
same
breaking
thing.
up though.
All right. Maybe you take over. You can take over and do the questions. There you go. A little practice for you.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Doing it. So why don't you take over and do the questions and Q&A?
Okay, I'll do the first one. I didn't get my hand up in time, but the one thing about music, you showed a clip from the Ed Sullivan Show. If you remember back in those days, the only time you got to really see any musicians live was on shows like Ed Sullivan and so on. And so it was a big event when a popular singer was going to appear on one of those entertainment shows. Greg, go ahead.
Hey, this is for Ray. Ray, I really appreciate the work you do in showing and giving us this information about the old music. It's right up my alley. Anyway, I just wonder if you could do for me a favor and put something on about T-Bone Walker.
You promised you would send me a copy of that record. Remember we talked about that? So
Yeah, I do.
did you find the record in the RV?
Yeah, it's still out there in the RV.
All right, you
The
sent
RV,
me
the
the song and
RV is
I'll
in a
do-
cover,
I'll
and
do a
I
song
won't
on
be
it.
able to get it open until probably the springtime. But
Okay.
yeah, I will remember this time and do it. Thanks.
What's the name of the song?
No, it's put on by T-Bone Walker, and he did it like in 1950. He was really, I think, the start of rock and roll.
Okay, Bob G, you have your hand up.
Yeah, it looks like I'm rocking to the music, but I'm really not. This ship is really having a ball, man. I can't sit still because the boat keeps rocking all over the place.
Put a seatbelt on.
Yeah, I'd like to, but it's not handy. They're back in the car.
Just think of it as a way of exercising.
Well, I'm just happy that I may be rocking, but my tummy is behaving. So
What ocean are you on, Bob? What ocean are you on, Bob?
what ocean? Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, he's traveling from California to Hawaii and then back. I'd like to make a comment on Bill James's presentation on aging in place and home automation with a personal note. When I lost Robin in March, but prior to that, I've got Miss A here, and it was really helpful for her to be able to turn on lights, to find out things, find out the weather, and so on by using Miss A. The problem came as she lost the ability to talk well. It didn't recognize her, and then I'd have to repeat whatever she was trying to ask it. So it does work in some cases, but as if you have issues, it could be that it won't work properly for you.
We just put in some of that in our house. So my wife can barely walk, so being able to turn lights on with a verbal command really helps. Now the fun thing is that the Miss A is talking back to us and telling us what to do. It's hysterical.
I said thank you to Miss A one time, and she said, I'm glad you recognize, and she thanked me for thanking her. Carl, go ahead.
Yeah, I was remembering what Ron said about the movie not being what it's expected. Maybe some of you remember the movie Duel with Dennis Weaver. You kind of describe it as a salesman and a truck driver, but that would not be the right description for the movie Duel.
Jim, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a mention in case you guys who use Amazon don't know, and you have your home automation, Alexa. After you get a delivery, if you say to Alexa, please reward my driver, they get a $5 tip from the company. And this was a result of a lawsuit as far as payment goes. So it's a limited time thing, but you say reward my driver, and then she'll say, thank you for this, blah, 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 blah. And that's the way it works.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder.
That worked for the first 5 million thank yous.
Yeah, well, it seems to still be going on. I don't know, but
yeah,
they
I
haven't
take it back.
canceled it.
Jim, it's the first 1 million thank yous offered because they're promised to pay as much as $5 million. So each driver, when you say it, will get $5 as a tip.
I want to remind everybody of the on the half hour that we will have the premiere video, and it's the great debate between Ron and I. And Ron has put in the chat box the link, and make sure you take a look at it. It was interesting and a lot of fun doing. Any other comments or questions? I know we've got a lot of. Okay, go ahead, Jim.
Bob. I've got a Vast on the machine, but I keep getting all these ads to upgrade and install and what have you, and I just want to use the free version. Why do you get rid of the all those ads that they're popping in?
Go into your personal privacy setting and turn off all those things to get reminders.
Now, is that in the computer or the Avast settings?
The settings in Avast, go into menu, settings, personal privacy, and then turn off everything except to share with them should you run into a brand new infection. Everything else, turn it off, especially the third-party reminders.
Great, thank you so much. I'll get to work on that.
Dorothy, you have your hand up.
I just had a quick question about LastPass. I know of all the articles that are going around, going in to change the master password and quite a few of your passwords, but I just wondered if you had a thought on that.
Bob, do you want to?
Yeah, we covered that already last week. I personally, Dorothy, have stopped using LastPass, but it's a personal decision. The
Right.
main reason that I stopped is because the information that was passed along to the hackers wasn't your password. Your password was never breached. The database containing the passwords was, whether or not they'll ever get to it, who knows? But they received quite a bit of other information, which can lead to phishing attacks, which would involve anything you get from LastPass, like asking you to change a password and many other things. So this is the part you need to be careful of. There are many other password managers available who seem to have done a better job, or maybe the hackers haven't gotten lucky and gotten to them.
Yeah, I read an interesting article about, well, if LastPass has failed, what about all the other password managers? What are they doing to protect the password?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and the question I have, Bob, is if you quit, that doesn't do anything. You want to make sure you uninstall it, but still, if they've already got the information, they already got your all of the accounts, getting off of it really isn't going to help you at all, except for in the future if they get it again.
Well, you need to realize that if they tell you now in an email that, you know, you have some problems with your LastPass account, I don't have my LastPass account anymore. So you automatically know that anything you're getting isn't pertaining to something that you have. And you have to then realize this is a phishing attempt.
But simply not using it doesn't help. If you uninstall it, is there another way to make sure that account is shut off?
The information has been passed along to the hacker. You can't
Yeah.
get to the hacker and tell him to stop using
That
the information, right? Suggestion
Carl,
is
go-
before you uninstall it, download your passwords with a CVS file so you can import your passwords into the new one so that you don't wind up losing all those passwords that were stored.
Carl, go ahead.
Yeah, I wondered maybe Bob could do something on the future. It's at instead of the TSA, you go to the thing called Clear. There's a annual fee for it. It's pretty expensive, and it's supposed to expedite your, going through security at the airport. And they take, your picture of your eyeballs, your retina, and they take your fingerprints. And I don't know who's doing it. I get the expectation it's a third party, and it raises questions of security. So I canceled it because it was outrageously priced. It was like for two people, $180 a year. You'd have to travel a lot to want to go a little faster. But and I found it wasn't any faster because now that more people are signing up for it, the quick line is just as bad as the other line. So it's kind of wondering. But anyways, Bob, maybe in the future you could look into this Clear thing. And the only thing I learned in researching it after I canceled it is you can send them an email asking to be removed from their database. I don't know how good that is, but that's what they claim. That's all.
Or you can do the same with LastPass. You can, but that doesn't stop the fact that the hacker already has your information. You know, it's like saying, okay, I don't want you to use the information. Well, I don't care. You are safe to use my information, but the hacker now has the information, and you're never going to tell the hacker to stop using what they have
Yeah, right.
already. Okay, so
Good discussion. Are there any other questions or comments?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah,
Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, and don't forget, I see some of the donations are coming in. Please remember our coffee fund. We just need to raise our money for our for this year, and then we don't have to talk about it anymore. So if everyone could do that, just remember to do that. That would be great. Thanks so much. Huey, you're doing a good job.
Well, I've done this before.
You have. That's great. So, any more questions before we sign off? Don't forget the big debate where Huey and I get our noses bloodied, and Bob is sort of keeping us apart, and it's a tough knock 'em down debate. And you should have it's pretty good. I listened to it again. We had a lot of fun, and it's very educational.
Ron, can you put that? I know the link for the contribution is in the letter, but can you put it in the chat too?
Yeah, I can do that. It's on any of our videos. It'll be on the video that's out today. It's just everywhere. It's on our website. But I can do that. Let me just get
Then I'll click on it as soon as you put it before the chat goes away.
I can do that. Just hold on a second.
And as a reminder, if once he does that, if you want to save the chat, in most cases, you look at the chat box at the bottom right, there are 3 little dots. If you click those 3 little dots at the top, it'll say save chat. It will then save it, and it will put it in a folder called Zoom under documents. And then in that folder will be today's date. It'll be a Zoom. It'll be Zoom folder, and then it'll be today's date. And then in there will be the text file with the chat.
So everyone can see it now. I think you should be able to see the link is in
It's there. Yes.
Okay, great. Bob, listen, I want to have a great trip, but we'll look forward. You're going to join us on Thursday for our talk.
I plan to be there, provided we still have internet access.
There
You know,
go.
it's always new internet access.
It is. Tell me about it, right?
If it's as good as it is now, that's not a problem.
All right. Well, you seem to sound better than even you do at home. You've got a great connection.
Yeah, and you've been working better. Your internet connection's been working better than Ron's.
Amazing.
Amazing. All right. Well, listen, don't forget, we'll see everyone the same time, same place next week, and Bill will have his part 2. We will also have this Thursday, we'll have our show. So thanks so much for coming today. And until next week, we'll see you again.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.